And I'm going to start over because I just started recording this now. So, going to be covering today a couple examples from a book where the author, Valerie Biem, talks about how to calculate chess tactics. I am on page 42, and I've already kind of read through it once, and I'm going back through it and just kind of combing through and trying to really harvest and gather like specific things and then be able to improve my tactics rating as a result. So this idea here of logical analysis can be described as outlined right here. First step in trying to identify the solution is to begin with a general overview of the position, not overlook anything. Make sure you got a good grasp of all the details, and then just identify the strengths as well. And this is going to be particularly effective in positions you're unfamiliar with. And the idea is that that's going to quickly point you to the correct idea. So with that in mind, I'm going to go ahead and look at an example of how to use that. And so basically we have this one right here. It's black to move, and let's see what he says about it. Let us first examine the position from the point of view of logical analysis approach. Material is equal, but black has several positional pluses. One factor is the safety of the two kings. Whereas black's king is solidly defended, his opposite number is much less so, especially on the h2 square and the whole h-file. Black's pieces are more active and better coordinated. In particular, black's bishop is superior to white's knight. If both pieces were removed from the board, white's position would be markedly improved. His king would feel more secure, and his major pieces would find it much easier to maneuver within their own camp and coordinate with each other better. In this case, the game would be about equal. So he's saying if we trade away these minor pieces, it's going to be equal, and we don't want that. We're trying to win. We also have an attack on the king. And so in summary, white can expect to have significant problems with the safety of his king, particularly down the h-file. In addition, white's knight cannot find a good safe square. And again, what we're doing here is kind of looking at these little details of the position. We're trying to be careful not to overlook anything, and we're getting a grasp of what it looks like to be really detail-oriented when you're analyzing a position like this. So white's knight cannot find a good safe square. This means that black must seek a way to combine an attack on the enemy king with the harassment of the knight. The move g6 suggests itself, but the drawback of this is that then you deprive the rook of the h6 square. So if the knight is not driven away, though, then the rook can't go to h6 anyway. Two questions arise. How to resolve this contradiction? Does the position offer black sufficient grounds for thinking that objectively there should be a clear solution? To answer the second question, we should come from the analysis already set out, and we can say that yes, there are such grounds. Having drawn that conclusion, we can recall our big word. I don't know what that word is. Aphorism? I don't know what that means. Oh, this is a fun quote, though. If it doesn't work, but you very much want it to, then it must work, which applies to positions where one has a large positional advantage, but no immediate solution is evident. After that, we should look for a revolution. And when a player has such an approach, the tactical solution to the strategic problem is always there somewhere. There followed g6. Okie dokie, we're playing it. Knight comes back right here. This is pretty interesting. How are we going to be able to follow up in this tactic? I'll tell you how we're going to follow up with it. We're going to take the knight. Holy smokes. I guess that makes sense in hindsight, because now we're going to go takes g5, I bet. Yeah. Oh, he resigns, actually. But wait a second. Let's go back. So what if he sees what we're up to, and he goes, okay, wait. I'm going to go here. I'm not going to let you sacrifice your queen. Well, let me go queen back like this. Knight to h6 check, king comes up, knight g4. Yeah, this looks unclear. Oh, no. We're going to get a pawn here. Knight comes back, and after bishop to f2, it's not just a pawn. We're going to be able to win even more material after bishop to g3. Neato burrito. So in the game here, after knight comes back, queen takes, GG, game over. After takes like this, now we go g5, and we're going to be able to get mate on the next move. Wow. Wowza. Pretty crazy. So he says, so is that all there is to it? And then he says, no, actually, let us return to white's 18th move. Love this. Love when chess authors go deep. Let's do it. So instead then, if he had played pawn to a4, he could have kept things going. White's is white really helpless? If you think hard, you will spot the counter resource g4. Okay, even g4 would actually make it even more difficult. Holy smokes, what does this move do? What on earth? We giving up a knight for just a pawn outpost? What's the point of this? Can definitely see why white missed it. How is that a good move? I want to know more. White maintains material equality, although obviously at the cost of clearly weakening the position. How does he maintain material equality? What are you talking about? We're going with the knight for a pawn. In this case, black does not have chances of a direct attack, but by utilizing the weakening of his opponent's king side and continuing pawn to a4. What? What is happening here? In accordance with all the laws of chess strategy, he can seize space and create pressure on the other flank too, with every chance of increasing his advantage to decisive proportions. What conclusions can we draw from this fragment? Similar examples of the exploitation of an open file often occur in collections of combinations. Consequently, as we have already said, a player who works constantly at solving such positions will find it easier to solve this position, and by using his experience, than a player who relies solely on logical analysis of the position. What? Okay, hold on. My first question is, why can't we take this? I think I know. I was distracted because while I was reading, I was thinking about this. So if we go here, okay, if we just take it, and then it takes right back, he's going to go rook g1. We take, and he goes rook g1. This is what you call an Easter egg, because the author has understated what's happening here in order to make us think about it some more. All right, the rook's attacked, so if we go over like this to h6, rook comes here, I suppose, so then we can go takes right over here, and then takes right over here. And then I'm not going to check it with the engine, because sometimes checking it with the engine can kind of kill the magic a little bit. So I'm going to drink the Kool-Aid and accept that he's probably right about this. But I don't know, I like black here. Maybe not for good reason. There is quite a bit of life happening with these different pawns. Maybe the queen come to b3. I don't know. Okay, so it's not so clear then if he goes g4. That is a hard move to spot, I tell you what. So is a4. Oh my goodness. Okay, now I'm going to reread what I said. Reread what he said. Similar examples of the exploitation of an open file often occur in collections of combinations. Okay, an open file comes up a lot in tactics. Consequently, as we have already said, a player who works constantly at solving such positions, okay, practice makes progress. Got it. In order to use this method in the present position, we have to be able to see something very important, the connection between chess strategy and tactics. Neato burrito. I'm going to look at one more example, and then I'm going to call it a wrap for this video. And then I'm going to continue to do this stuff on my own later, because I'm a nerd like that, and I'm also very self-conscious about how good the audio quality is. And so I would like some confirmation that it's going to work. In fact, you know what? I'm going to call it a wrap here, because I don't know if it's going to sound good or not. That's going to do it for today. Until next time. Ciao.